Thank you very much once again. Let me take this opportunity and welcome you back to one of our meritocratic channel of ours. This is known as MATRIC+NATED Specialist, and then we are specializing in different subjects. And then today we are looking and anticipating in communication and management communication, and for pertaining to this subtopic, which is called employment interviews. Remember that we have just did basic interviews, but today we are going to look and anticipate in employment interviews, and then this will cover the test series and the examination that we are going to button right now to look at the purpose for interview. So remember that we don't just do an interview, but there must be a purpose for that. The man and the female that they are taking note will make appear approachable. As you can see, the smile is there. And then the question that can arise, they say, name the purpose, the specific purpose of an interview. And an employment interview can be informational. So we are saying informational. This is based on the your information that you know pertaining that industry. Can be asked those particular questions in terms of orally. This is the most difficult interview, whereby you are going to persuade now the employee to ensure or to prove that candidate for employment. And then we mean of the combined. So we combined, it is based on informational and persuasive interview. And that one, it can be for 6 months. The purpose of the interview, you name and you explain. If you are moving on again, we have to see that we've got the responsibilities of the interviewer. So in the examination, they will say, name the responsibilities or the role of the interviewer. The interviewer, before the interview, must make sure that he prepare the interview, and the interviewer should prepare the colleagues, dress in a neatly and appropriate manner, and then prepare the venue. So this is the interviewer that is here on the marks, and then on the picture, and then you can see that he's dressed properly. You would see there in the background, the venue is prepared, and he prepared for the colleagues, even for the means of this panel interview. Okay, I hope us to move on to our work pertaining the role and the responsibilities of the interviewer. So this is the person that is going to interview. So the interviewer, during the interview, must introduce yourself to each other with the interviewee, and must be professional and well-mannered, and must smile often to adopt a friendly tone, and must listen intently and impatiently. And then the other aspect that we need also to see is that he must or she must make sure that he keep an eye contact on the clock, so that it can be for 10 marks. If ever we are moving on again, we have to see here, we've got now the responsibilities and the role of the interviewer. After, please take note now, this is after the interview. You make notes of your impression and file them. Avoid discriminating when selecting the suitable candidates as arrived. And then you must send the polite email to an unsuccessful candidate, and that is for 6 marks. Let us ensure that we are having these 6 marks as well. If ever we are moving on again, we have to see that we are having that are asked during the interview. So the interviewer must prepare this question, and then interview questions should be varied. So they must be different to ensure that the interview is meaningful, and they could be open-ended, whereby now the interviewer would explain the question, and then we pick a question, the reflective question, whereby you reflect again to other means. And then you've got the hypothetical question that can be asked, and the leading question, which can lead you to the answer. And then that is for 16 marks. Let us make sure that we are having also these 16 marks as well. If we are moving on again, we have to see that we have the steps that one can follow to apply. The steps that you can follow to apply a position. So it includes finding a source of information. You need to find the source of the information, and then you need to ensure that the job analysis, job advertised, and then writing a covering letter, and then you must be able to write your curriculum vitae, which can be for 8 months. To see that we've got again some other important aspect that we can cover pertaining to this. And please take note, as you are taking the notes down, you are also hitting the subscription button and telling those who are concerned, also asking the questions on our course here. The interviewee, before the interview. So you must make sure that before the interview, you come on time because of you are dressing nice, because of you want to leave a lasting impression. Remember these points when you are being invited to an interview. Number one, you must have your personal documentation, such as the ID and the qualification. The dress code must always be formal unless it's stated. Then you must be able to be grooming, and the preparation for question, you must prepare for your question. And then punctuality, we mean that don't be too early or too late. Just arrive 30 minutes before. And then establishing a rapport is also important, and to keep your posture very well while you are waiting for the interview. So these are the applicants that they will go to the interview. See how smart are they. Okay. And then if ever we are moving on again, we are to see that here we are going to see the interviewee during the interview. So this is the person that will be interviewing you. So you must take note of the non-verbal communication, such as the eye contact, the tone of voice, the register, the pronunciation, and the body language. Then the listening skills. So you must also be aware of your posture, and that it would be for 8 marks. If we are going on again, we are to see that we've got the verbal communication. So we are saying that the interviewee during, please take note that is during the interview, there must be a verbal communication. Remember to remain professional when answering the question, when posing the question, and then when avoiding the question. And that is for 6 marks. And then if ever we are going on again, we are to see that here we've got the interviewee during the interview when he's writing the skills test. And then number one, what is it that you must consider? If asked to do a skill test, look confident and smile. Number two, listen carefully to what is systematically. Number four, stay calm and keep your emotions under the control. And that it is for a maximum of 8 marks when you are writing the skill test. And then lastly, if ever we are going on again, we are to see that we've got the last important aspect of our work, which will write this examination. And then if we are moving on again, we are to see that we have the interviewee after the interview, the interviewee after the interview. So we are saying that there are a few important things that you need to do, and then when you are done, and then email a thank you note to the interviewer, make notes of mistakes if you have made them, consider the information you have been given, decide whether you accept or you decline the position, and then email another thank you note if unsuccessful, and that it can be for 10 marks. Ensure that you can remember this very well as you are writing your examination, and ensure that you keep others on tune at MATRIC+NATED Specialist. Let us go viral, and let us hit the subscription button with posting on our channel of networks in terms of our social media platform. Thank you very much for your time.